in time. Hello, public. Thank you for coming. As you guys saw, I ran in here on two wheels after work. But I appreciate all you guys being here, coming off spring break. Hopefully, we're going to have a short, really good meeting. So we're going to call this meeting to order. First, Dr. Conway.
Thank you, Dr. Naylor and members of the board. Tonight, we have some very special recognitions, and we will start with our ascending student recognition, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Riles for those introductions.
Yes, good evening, board. Good evening, Conway Public Schools. So this month for our Ascending Student of the Month recognition, we are focusing on the theme of ascending with resilience. So it is an honor to recognize Jackson Eskew, a third grader at Theodore Jones Elementary, as our Ascending Student of the Month for April. So enjoy this video, and then you'll get to meet Jackson.
My name is Jackson. I'm in the third grade and I go to Theodore Jones. My favorite activity to do at Theodore Jones is do the announcements club because we record the videos and then the next morning we see ourselves on the TV and stuff. This is our TJ pledge and cast chant. I will be safe, responsible, and respectful. I am wonderfully made and created for a purpose. The choices I make today will shape my future. Today I will listen, today I will learn, today I will do my best and let my light shine. For we are cats, we'll be caring to ourselves and others. We'll have an awesome attitude every day. We'll be a team player and we'll keep ourselves and others safe. So my favorite subject at Theodore Jones is math because it's really fun and I get to learn a lot of multiplication and fractions.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Davenport. I'm a teacher here at Theodore Jones, and I'm Jackson's third grade teacher. I want to talk a little bit about Jackson's resilience in the classroom. At the very beginning of the year, I introduced to my students having a growth mindset, and we spent a full week talking about it and what it means, and that mistakes are okay to make in the classroom. We can always grow from them and learn from them. Jackson really took that information and ran with it. Anytime that he's struggling, he dives deeper into whatever we're talking about, asking questions, asking for examples, practicing. He even told me that he goes home and works on his writing every single day and writes a paragraph, and his parents also told me that at parent-teacher conferences. So that shows me, he's super resilient and he's trying every day to better his writing skills. And since he is a leader in the classroom, it's kind of had a ripple effect. So when he has a growth mindset, he's diving deeper into the lesson and the skill and raising his hand, asking questions. The other students start to do that as well. And it might sound a little silly, but that actually does happen. And I'm just so proud of him, and I hope you're as proud as I am.
My favorite thing about Theodore Jones is that we have fun every day. I'm excited to be the student of the month.
I would now like to invite Jackson up to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, and he'll be accompanied by his principal, Ms. Karis Eccles, and assistant principal, Mr. Dow.
Picture. Oops. Letting you in there, Dow. Good job.
Okay, next on the list we have our Wampus Cat Pride. So tonight, hang on one second. Tonight, for our Wampus Cat Pride Award, I would like to introduce you to the 2025 Unified Basketball State Champions. Okay, before you sit down, this is a three-peat state championship. That deserves another round of applause. So congratulations to this team for their three-peat state championship win. And so with this amazing teamwork, dedication by the team and the cheer squad, thank you, coaches, for your commitment and dedication to this team. And they'll also be featured at the City Council meeting on April 22nd. So shout out to our mayor and the city for recognizing the student achievements as well. And so one more round of applause for this team.
Congratulations.
This is how Florida won the national championship last night. They just took it away.
Let me get to the side.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job, guys. Excellent.
Okay, so for another special Wampus Cat Pride, we would like to honor one of our departments with a Blue Heart Award. And so I would like to present to you our Transportation Department with a Blue Heart Award tonight. Give it up for our transportation team. As they make their way to the front, I just want to recognize them for their outstanding dedication and performance all the way to the front. Oh, I got you. Okay. There you go. So our bus drivers collectively drive over 3,000 miles, around 3,000 miles each day, and their commitment to safety, reliability, and care for our students exemplifies the heart of our district. And so this incredible team, led by strong and dependable leadership, you have here Miss Barbara Lyons, the supervisor, John Thompson, Sonia Strickland, Sarah Mason, and Aaron, I don't want to butcher your last name. Hennessy, thank you. And so this team led our transportation department through challenging weather, ice, the snow, and also an unexpected early dismissal. And so we just wanted to thank you all for your dedication and support for this district. So thank you again. Dr. Collum.
I just want to add, for this group, I've worked with a lot of different transportation departments, and I'm not just saying this. I've actually seen this in motion. They do an incredible job with those 100 buses and the 80 bus routes that they run. Knock on wood, we have very low incident. We have very little issue through all the ice and the snow. They're here at 5 o'clock in the morning. They get home late in the evenings. They never complain, at least not to me. They may complain to Miss Barbara. But this is a fearless leadership group, and they do an excellent job. The Blue Heart Award is for the group that goes above and beyond, and they do a lot of work behind the scenes. You don't know they're not there until they don't show up. But they do an excellent job, and so bus department, thank you so much, Miss Barbara. She has a lot of energy and excitement and an incredible team, so thank you again. Excellent job. If anybody drives a bus, we'll get your license before you leave today.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
And that concludes our Wampus Cat Pride.
Okay, we do have one other
Yes.
group here tonight.
Yes, we
I
got
think
some
we have
special
some
guests.
students in the audience, and I know that Ms. Sheila may know this group better than we do. And so, first of all, we want to say welcome to Conway, Arkansas. And I think you're from California, long way from home. So first of all, let's give it up for our friends from California. Welcome to the Conway School Board meeting, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Sheila to say a few words.
I would just like to say that Alan Frost reached out to me several months ago. He was bringing a group of students from California in to Conway, Arkansas, and he asked if I would speak to him about the duties of a school board member, the campaign, the just a lot of things. And so today we met for about an hour and a half. These group are young people. They're all juniors in school. They asked some great questions. They're very intelligent, very respectful people, and very well-mannered. And these are their three educators here. And I just like to say, welcome to Conway, Arkansas.
Good deal. Good deal. Just, if I may, what part of California are you guys from?
We're from the peninsula south of San Francisco, but I'm a Conway native.
Conway native?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, welcome back then. And are you guys just kind of traveling the state or the region or what?
Mississippi and now Arkansas. We're learning about education in both states and all the opportunities and issues facing educators.
Well, thank you all for doing this. And students, again, welcome to Conway. We hope you have a safe trip home. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, the next item is consent agenda. Does anybody have questions? If no questions, I'll need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Motion been made and second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes. Next is superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Naylor, members of the board. We've got a couple of things tonight. The first is a school election update. While Ms. Donna's pulling that up, we have the at-large position candidates, Mr. Leo Cummins III, Mr. Tyler Moses, and Ms. Tammy Marsh. At large, we have Zone 1, Mr. Jason Sandifer, Mr. Barrett Petty, and then we have Zone 5, Mr. Tom Kennedy and Miss Leona Walton. And then just left a meeting a little over 2 hours ago, finalizing the voting locations. Early voting will be at the Faulkner County Courthouse. Early voting is May 6th through 9th. And May the 12th, 8 to 4:30. Election day is May 13th, 7:30 to 7:30, full day there. And then voters can request absentee ballots now by calling the clerk's office at that number. Sample ballots are posted. You can see the website information there. And then the election day polling sites for the actual election day are the McGee Center, True Holiness Church, and then the library. And so that was finalized just today. So sharing that information for the board and also for our community. Next up, we have, I'm very excited about this. It's a big announcement. We have parent night with the superintendent. And look at this. How can you not get excited? Popcorn, PJs, big guy's going to get on the floor and watch a movie with the kids on April the 17th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And I just want the community to know there's absolutely no agenda. This is come get to know the superintendent. I'm not doing any presentations. We just want to meet our people. We want to see the kids. We want to talk to the parents. We're going to watch a movie. I don't remember the exact name of the movie, but we're going to watch a kid movie. We're going to have a great time. We've already had over 100 folks respond, so we're having at least 100 folks come in PJs, and I want the parents to come as well. We're going to have a great time, so just putting that out for you guys to know. We're also doing another one later on. So the campuses included are, it's held at Theodore Jones Elementary School, but the campuses that are invited for that night are those locations as well. You've got TJ, Preston Flomat, Ida Burns, Ellen Smith, and Sally Cone. We'll have another night later in May where we'll hit the other 5 elementary schools. And so we'll hit all 10 elementary schools by the time it's over. Last thing I'll say on that, my son is a 6th grader, and he said, "Dad, why are you not doing this at the middle schools?" And I said, "Let me get through the elementary schools first, and we'll see how it goes." So those nights are coming up, parent nights. Graduation plan preview. If you didn't know, seniors are getting ready to graduate. Dr. Worley has got our plan ready to go, and so I'm going to let her share that information with you all. We will be at UCA, and I won't steal the rest of the details from her.
All right, so good evening, board, community members. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Board, you guys have a formal invitation to graduation. Should be at your seat with your graduation tassel. You can put that in your rearview mirror like our students do. Sorry, try to not yell at people. So anyway, you've got an official invite to graduation there. Graduation will be Friday, May 9th at 7 p.m. At Estes Stadium on the campus of UCA. We are so excited to be home in Conway and to be at UCA. I do want to give a shout out to their athletic director, Matt Whiting. His crew has been amazing. Melanie Watson, who works in conference services at UCA, has been a joy to work with and instrumental in helping us do this. Also, Jeff Matthews and Conway Corp, our community partners. I can't say enough about how much they help us with this event, and their involvement with it just makes it go so much smoother. And so we invite all of you guys to be there. You've got lots of hands to shake. Currently, we're sitting at about 727 seniors for the class of 2025. And if you're like, "Ooh, 700," yep. Last year, we were 641, and so a bigger group this year. And so we're excited. We're excited to pack out Estes Stadium and have an environment where our students can feel surrounded by love and accomplishment. And so that's what we're going to get at UCA. We're going to be on the Stripes, which is an iconic field. And so we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a great opportunity for our students and our families to celebrate their graduates for this accomplishment. So we're excited.
7:37?
7 o'clock.
No, how many?
Oh, sorry, 7:27.
7:27,
Sorry, I was like,
727.
planes, times, what are we talking about?
And I'll brag as a dad. I've got one that'll be walking the stage, so we're excited. We've
Yeah.
got a senior coming. So, Dr. Worley, thank you, and board, we're excited. I'm excited that it's going to be in town. It's at UCA. They've been very gracious to partner with us, and I think our community's excited about having it back here in home. So, thank you, Dr. Worley. Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Mr. Bargers. If it rains, why are you going to talk about that, Mr. Barger? It's not going to rain. Don't speak that into existence. We just got done with rain. No, so if it rains, our rain out date is Saturday, May 10th, and we'll do same time, same place. When I was talking to my seniors, they were like, "Well, what if the rain out day gets rained out?" And I was like, "Listen, I need to talk to you in my office after this." So we're going to try to do our best to get it in that weekend. So we know there's a lot of people coming in from out of town, families and things like that. So we want to make sure that they get to see their student graduate while they're here.
Very good. Any other questions?
I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
So I know in the past, we moved to War Memorial because of seating. And I know, did 10 graduations and noticed the stands looked very sparse,
Yes,
just because that place swallows
big.
us up. But going back to UCA, what's the seating going to look like? Are we going to have to restrict seating, or are we going to be able, hopefully, to bring in seating? I think that was talked about. So
Yeah, so I think we plan on being able to accommodate what we need with the facilities that UCA has. We are not doing tickets.
Great.
That's something that was important to me, is I didn't want graduates to feel like they had to limit who can come and watch this moment. Like, we want everyone to be there who's had a key role in that student success. And so we're going to keep count of how many folks we got coming in. But I think we can comfortably hold about 10,000. And so The goal is to pack it out. We want it to be
Yes.
full, don't want to see it sparse, and that way when those students walk across, they've got an entire arena of folks cheering for them.
Yeah.
it'll be
Well,
good.
thank you for your hard work. I know those events don't just happen. So thank you to everybody involved with that. I am also so happy for it to be in our hometown. Hopefully logistics will be easier on families as well.
Yes, sir.
You know, so great.
Yeah.
Great
I'd say
news.
get a
Thank you.
hotel as soon as possible, because
Yes, sir.
they're
It's
going to
also
fill up
Tobe Suck
quickly.
weekend, so lots of things going on.
It's going
Lots
to
of
fill up.
stuff. Yeah, lots of
Thank you,
things going
Dr.
on.
Worley.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Worley.
it.
Appreciate it.
All right, to finish up my report tonight, Board, we have a highlight video. And this is, I want to say it's the fourth possibly of a series that we're doing on third. Thank you. Academic highlights, student highlights, teacher highlights across the district. This one's got a science focus on it, I believe. And so pay attention. This is a great video.
Science is everywhere, and I always tell them if you just look closely, you're going to find something amazing, and then look even closer and find out more about it.
Science is such an integrated content area, and so if you're working through science, you're working through so many applicable subject areas. You're getting math, you're getting your literacy instruction, you're really working on writing and observing, and ultimately, as they get older, science is where you're going to get your problem solving and critical thinking skills.
There's so many things that they can learn in science that's going to help them better themselves in the real world as they grow older. They need to know how to measure things. They need to know how friction works.
They're like sponges. They suck up everything that you put out. And I feel like if we start them early, then they have that critical thinking going on. They're able to explore. They're able to connect. They need that foundation. You know, not be afraid to explore and try new things.
So in elementary, science is really all about inquiry-based, hands-on learning. We're really building the foundation, getting our students excited about it, getting to ask questions, getting to plant and grow and watch and experiment. And so we get to put all the items in front of everyone and just really spark their curiosity.
We got to use microscopes with things that we found outside. So like we would find like flowers or pieces of bark, and some people would bring in bugs or stuff like that they could look at. And Miss Cardi really likes bugs, so she would look at those with them.
But the biggest thing I like is just having some fun. You gotta loosen them up, get them into it. Every week they go, are we gonna blow something up?
They always think when they're okay, well, we're going to explode a volcano. But what we do is we look at the difference between thick lava and thin lava, just to show how it forms, because that forms the different types of volcanoes.
We are also fortunate to have a school garden. The kids can go out there, we can pull up a flower, pull up a plant, look at the roots, look at the stem. So it's been a wonderful thing to have that.
Science is really fun because I always want to learn about how was Earth created, and I learned about that, about the atmosphere, everything, the moon, the phases. I never knew that the moon had phases.
We just got finished raising beetles, and they got to watch all the stages that they went through, and they were so excited about it. We just released them into the wild. It was a phenomenal experiment, but they all watched me, and so I had to make sure that I look like I love mealworms too.
We do have Arkansas standards that we follow, and we follow in GSS. And so teaching our teachers how to ask the questions and making sure, what is the end purpose? What do I want my kids to know? And then let them figure that out through inquiry-based methods. We're getting our instructional coaches to really help explain how do we ask those questions in science for our students so that they can really engage in meaningful conversation with each other.
They need the foundation. Just investing into them with all the different things and just spending that time with them helps them be able to learn.
What makes me proud are all of the teachers and all of the counselors and all of the specialists and all of the principals, and from the ground up, we love and pour into the kids that we have and try to make their experience the best it can be. I mean, every day.
That critical thinking, trying to fire that critical thinking so they can be able to solve real world situations later on.
To be a teacher of anything, and especially science, having a district that will back you up or administration that will back you up, fellow teachers and parents, it makes it that much more meaningful for you and exciting for you to teach it because you've got support.
I just feel the support all the time, you know, from being able to buy different supplies, finding money for it, making it a priority.
I love science. I love that our kids love science. They get to go in and they get to create their own experiments and they get to talk through it, and teachers get to mentor them through that process. And so students naturally fall in love with it.
Isn't that great? I want to thank Ms. Rawls and all the folks that were in the video, and I think what you see is the heartbeat of the passion that we have for learning in the classroom, from the teachers talking about their content to the students being excited about what they see. And so, board, this is the third. We've got a series of 5 that we're going to release over time. So great job. Thank you again, and that concludes my report. Any comments or questions on any of that information? If not, thank you. I'll turn it back.
Next item is district financial report. Dr. Ashley.
Talk to you about a couple things before Mr. Emmer comes and gives a report. As you know, we'll start working on budget this spring in preparation for the fall. Just want to kind of bring you up to date on with legislation right now. We still don't have foundation funding finalized. It's been passed through the Senate and House, but it's got to be voted on and signed. So until we know that gives us a huge number with our foundation funding. And so as we do that, as we look at our revenues, you know, a big piece comes from foundation funding. The other side of that is our local, which is going to be based on our assessment. Talked to Scott Beardsley today. Our assessment is trending up, which is very positive. And so I feel like we're going to be in a pretty good spot. But I told Dr. Cohn, Mr. Black today, I said, don't get too excited because these are still rough. You know, we're still rough. But I feel like we're trending in the right direction. Assessment plays a huge part because the higher that assessment is, then it makes up for any lacking there. And then those excess debt service mills, we get all of that. You know, the state's going to make us whole on 25. So anyway, just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. And as we go in, and as she's looking at expenditures, I just want you to keep in mind you guys provided a nice substantial bonus to our teachers. And so we're going to continue to run a deficit because of that amount that we pulled and paid in that. So I just want you to always be cognizant of that. I know she's going to hit that, but I just want to kind of keep that on your mind, because when we pay that out, if you put that money back in, we look pretty good. You take that money out, it's like, oh, but it's easy to forget that we paid that piece out. So anyway, I just want to give you an update on that. Foundation funding will go up this year. It's a little over 2%, which is really good. Next year, it's a little bit less. The other piece there that causes me a little concern is there's a possibility of increase in health insurance that the district has to contribute. So we may get more foundation funding if that money is already obligated before we ever touch it. That makes things difficult. So anyway, just wanted to bring you up to speed on that, and hopefully as we keep churning along, her team's done a great job compiling all this, but just wanted to kind of give you a little update on that. So Mr. Rimmer.
Hey, Andy, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
It's a good chance that we're going to get an increase per child.
Yes, sir.
Have you put a figure to that yet? How many kids we got? 300, almost $400.
No, it's $390. It's $390 is how much it's going to be additional per student, and then it depends on what our what she had figured. I think this week, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Rimmer, but our step increase, just the natural steps that teachers take, that's going to cost us just a hair, right at $1 million and some change when you take into benefits. So that's a big piece that we've got to make sure we cover with those foundation funding increases.
And Dr. Ashley, correct me if I'm wrong, third quarter ADM is sitting around 98.39.
Yes, sir.
Which is
98.31, I believe.
31.
Again, that number, the assessment will not be certified by the county until later in the month, maybe even early May. Third quarter ADM won't be finalized by the state till later in this month, hopefully. And they'll put out another state aid notice. So we're kind of waiting on those two things before we can estimate based on what it is and feel pretty good about those estimates. But I just don't ever like to count my chickens before they hatch.
Hey, Dr. Ashley, was on the bonus we did, was it 2.1 million?
2.3.
2.3 million, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Final thing I'll say, and we'll let Ms. Rimmer speak, is two big factors that you kind of look at when you start formulating the budget for next year is obviously assessment values, and those are still looking positive and trending upwards, and then your student enrollment. And then you kind of pair all that with your state aid notice, and those are the two big blocks that you start formalizing your revenue pieces. And then we bring you guys in and we go through that workshop process to begin to finalize expenditures and let you guys ask questions and give input into that whole budget process. So we're about 2 months out from that. June, July is kind of when we kick those off. But just kind of reminding you, we're getting ready to gear up. As we close out a year, we're getting ready to gear up to go into next year. So, Ms. Rimmer, thank you, Dr. Ashley.
Thanks, Dr. Ashley.
Good evening, Board and Dr. Cullum. Tonight I will be reporting on month ending March 31st, 2025, with 75% of our year elapsed. Let's look at the first report. Our teacher salaries, we spent a little over $4 million on teacher salary. Our operating budget started at $12.7 million. We had $4.7 million in revenue, and we had $3.5 million in period expenditures, and we ended the month at about a little over $10 million. Our building fund, we had expenditures of $201,000, and $175,000 of that is a piece of land we bought adjacent to the school. Our federal program started at negative $476,000 and ended the month with negative over $1 million. So we just have to remember that those reimbursements for those funds are based on actual expenditures, most of them anyway, and so we just have to wait those out to get that reconciled. And our food service started at the month at $2.7 million, had $500,000 in revenue and $617,000 expenditures, and ended at $2.6 million. So you'll see that our ending fund balances is a little over $25 million. And if we compare that to the next report, our ending balances last year at this time were $27 million. So we are down that $2.3 million, and we've already discussed that we had that fabulous bonus. Okay, so let's go to report number 3. We'll discuss our revenue report first. On property taxes, we received $408,000. Our state revenue was $4.2 million, and our local revenue was around $87,000. And so you'll see the percent of that budget is 71%, which is a little less than 75, but we are expecting a large county tax revenue payments for this month and next month, because that's when the mortgage companies pay their real estate taxes. So we're looking forward to that. And then for our expenditures on this report, salaries and benefits were about $6.5 million. Other expenses were about $846,000 for a total of $7.3 million. Of our funds 1, 2, and 4 legal balance, we are about 67% on our expenditures, which is less than 75%. And then we can look at our last report. Our property taxes, you'll see on that line that we did increase 4.15% from last year. Our state revenue is about the same, and just other local revenue does fluctuate, and it was a little down from last year. Our expenditures on salary and benefits did increase 3.7% from last year. Our supplies are about the same, and our debt service was nearly the same. And so that concludes my report. Does anybody have any questions? I didn't bring my script up here today.
I have a comment, really, more than a question, but, and this is more for the board and the public, because this is kind of I'd say a growing concern of mine, not a red flag moment, but just something I think would be good for everybody to be aware of. You know, when you look at these numbers, they look really big, and I'm very encouraged to hear that we're getting an increase on our foundational funding and our assessment. But to put that in perspective, so, you know, and somebody check my math here, but if we have let's call it $400 increase, I know we don't have quite 10,000 kids, but that'd be approximately $4 million. Sounds like a lot of money. And it is. I mean, I'm not, it is a lot of money. But if you notice, like on this last page, while our income is increasing, that 1.73% over last year, you'll notice our expenses are outpacing that of 2.57%. And so as everybody knows, yes, we do need more money to, make things run, but inflation is a real thing. Desks cost more, buses cost more. I don't know. What does a bus cost these days? So 130, what did it cost, a few years ago? Like pre-COVID?
The last bus I bought that was pre-COVID was about
89. So a new bus now costs $130,000, and guess what? We're going to need new buses. And so while I'm, like I said, not raising a red flag, Andy mentioned we have $1 million already obligated for our steps. I still want to point out, I feel like we have a deficit to our teachers who have experience. The LEARNS Act brought our new teachers up, which is fantastic, love it. But our experienced teachers got, $2,000? And so experience matters. We want to retain those teachers. And so, board, we've got a lot of work to do. And then also we got some serious infrastructure needs. Junior high being one. I mean, 30% of that building is built in the 1950s, I believe. Is that correct? Across the street. And that's a major renovation project that could push on up to, who knows? I mean, multi-million, 30, 40, 50 million easily with construction costs. So I'm not trying to paint a doom and gloom. What I am want the public to know is that if we're going to compete with private schools, other public schools, funding is a real concern of mine. We're going to need that. And so we're going to need support. But, we're not going to just, spend money unnecessarily. We're going to be very wise stewards. But I just want to kind of keep that in front of everybody's mind because, while it's great, we're going to get potentially $4 million, we've got a lot more in expenses than $4 million to tackle in the next, I'd say, 5 years. And so anyways, I just want to start talking about this because it's not going away, and it's something we need to address, and we're going to need the public support to get it done. And so anyways, no, we're not going to solve it tonight, but I am going to start talking about it. So anyways.
I'll echo that and just say to Mr. Leach's point, we are at a place where we're able to kind of maintain what we need to do without any major big shifts or movements. But if we're going to advance teacher salaries, if we're going to advance facility projects, if we want new and innovative programs, you're going to have to add revenue to what we do. And so at some point, and this is not enough new dollars to make that happen. And so I know we don't like to say the M word, but it is what it is. At some point, we're going to have that discussion with the millage and talking to our patrons and figuring out how do we get more revenue into the system so that we can ultimately take care of our students and our staff. And so I think that's what we're pointing to is those conversations are coming. We're going to have them. We're going to have to be realistic about what those needs are. But we are in a place right now where we can maintain the needs that we have, but it's hard to add too much more on with inflation with all the other costs that we have. So, Mr. Leach, thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Especially, when we talk about, we go to these lunches and we talk to the principals at the elementary schools, they all talk about they need a behavior interventionist, they need a reading interventionist, they need a math interventionist. And so there's only so much money when you're talking about 16 schools. And so, yes, at some point to get it better on the reading and the math and stuff, we could really get some help down there and do really good things, but we only have so much funds.
Any other questions? All right, Dr. Ashley, I think you're up next. Salary schedules.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rimmer.
Yeah, thanks for sure.
This is probably the easiest salary schedule conversation I've ever had to have.
Yeah, we got
can you slip it over there, Ms. Donna? Do you have it on there?
Yeah, yes, right.
It's an easy one. We want to just bump up the minimum wage for our miscellaneous pay for athletic gate workers, clock keepers, those type things from $11 to $15 to help have people to do that and cover that. And that was the only recommendation from PPC.
That's the only change, correct? Okay.
That's it.
I have a question. This was asked to me, and I don't understand it, but the homebound teachers, they do virtual, right?
You're asking the wrong
person.
guy.
Dr. Lasker, is that us or is that be Dr. Duncan?
Dr. Duncan.
Probably Duncan. Okay.
It's what?
Dr. Duncan. She oversees.
I'll get to her.
Yeah, we'll get with her. Okay. That's the only salary schedule recommendation. We need to go back and approve
Yes.
both of those.
Yes, so we need to go back to board financial report, and if there's not any more discussion on that, I need a motion and a second to approve the board financial report.
I'll make a motion to approve the board financial report as
Second.
presented.
Motion made and seconded to approve the board financial report. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Passes. Now we're at salary schedules. Anybody got any more discussion on salary schedule? If not, I need a motion and a second. Motion been made and second to approve the salary schedule. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Thank you.
I
Dr.
can
Ashley.
stay. It's me again.
Oh, you're up
Sorry.
next. Oh, yeah, it is you.
I'm not as
Information
easy to
items.
look at as some of the folks.
Yeah, you're still here.
Do what I
You're
can.
still
Do what I
here.
can. Do what I can. We've got Miss Townsend, Nurse Townsend, and some of our nurses, and she's going to come talk to you just about the nurses and what they do. And I just want to brag on Miss Townsend. Last year, we moved her to our nursing coordinator. She helps all of our nurses. She helps with the healthcare clinic. So just big thanks to her. She takes care of a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't even think about. So, Miss Townsend, thank you, ma'am.
Well, I don't even need those. I'm looking away. I just want to thank Dr. Cullen and Dr. Ashley, our administrators and our school board, for having us here this evening and for allowing me to introduce to you or kind of show you. This is just a small portion of our school nurses, and that's most of us right there. They're one of our support services, and so with this group, oh, I'm sorry, I touched something up there. Let me hold on to this. With these nurses that are up here, there's over 288 nursing years of experience, and our school nurses have 92 years of experience as school nurses. And so that's tremendous in today's world, staying in one place at one time. Some of our nurses here that are more seasoned nurses have been here for almost 20 years, 20 years or 29 years. Kim Leeton has been here for 29 years, and she is going to leave us this year. She's going to retire, and so we are going to
Look how big that smile is right there. My goodness. You're teasing us now.
We are going to miss her for sure. But many years ago, Conway was ahead of the game when the administration and the school board saw fit to put a school nurse in every school. They were trendsetters, so to speak, and then they added an additional nurse to some of our highly populated campuses, our junior high and our high school. And then last year, as Dr. Ashley said, we added a school nurse coordinator. And so I want to talk to you about, most of the time being an educational entity might not cause you to think about the nurses and the vital role that they play every day in the function of our schools. But I'd like to shed a little bit of light on that for just a minute and let you know some information. We're a part of the support team services because we do just that. We support our students, we support our staff with more than just Band-Aids and ice packs. You ask any faculty member and they'll tell you they do not want a school day without the school nurse. And much like teachers, our school nurses, teachers have lesson plans. Our school nurses, they have care plans that they write on some of our students and really extensive care plans on some of our more needy students. And each year prior to the summer break, we are asked to complete some data for the year and report to the state. This data in turn is shared with the legislature, and so I want to take just another minute and share a little bit of that information with you, a little condensed version of what last year's school year looked like for us with our office visits and things. We had, as stated before, we have 19 nurses on 16 of our campuses in our clinic. Last year, we took care of close to 9,800 students and staff on a daily basis. We had about 1,800 of these students have one or more chronic health care conditions. There were more than 1,620 reportable injuries, and we have 937 students that are documented as receiving mental health services, and we help on about half of those cases that were needed for mental health services. We logged over 62,000 student visits and 368 staff visits. We conducted over 38 trainings and 92 student presentations. We certified over 200 staff in CPR, and we mentored 33 UCA nursing students, which we do yearly. Your CPS nurses also help generate thousands of dollars for our district through some of the services that they provide. National Nurses Week is coming up, May 6th through the 12th, and National School Nurse Day is on May 7th. So I want to thank you for entrusting us with the care of our Conway students. And with all this being said, I'd like to publicly honor and highlight your Conway Public School nurses.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Yeah, and they have some complicated cases. We talk about some of it, but with the medications these days and with, there's a lot of medical complications that the students have that they take care of on a daily basis that probably is a lot more than it was 20, 30 years ago. It's a totally different system if you don't know that about the schools. It's just, they do an excellent job. And they have a lot to deal with on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate them. All right, Ms. Shasta, your turn.
Hi, good afternoon, board, or evening at this point in time. So I have presented you guys with 3 policy revisions. This is maybe the least amount of policy revisions we've had since I started here. These were all approved by PPC, and they're presented to you guys for your first read-through to be approved at the next board meeting. And as usual, if you have any questions about any of these after you take a look, please reach out to me, and I'll be happy to talk with you about them. Super easy.
Anybody got any questions? You running off? All right, thank you. Okay, she talked about all that. Next, does anybody have any comments before we go into executive session? Comments?
Well, I wanted
Just on anything?
to put the elections, voting on the elections, kind of table it until we get an opportunity to talk in executive session. I just have some questions.
Yes, and that's personnel. Yes, we're going to do it after executive session. That's correct. We'll talk about personnel in executive session. Yes. So does anybody have any general comments?
While the board's thinking, we were talking this morning in our cabinet administration team, and Dr. Lasker was sharing with us, we're kind of wrapping up hiring season, and we are still getting a lot of applicants per position. And I want to say, I don't remember the exact number, Dr. Lasker, can you tell us? And that's great news. So it's saying that Conway's still a very desirable place to be. And so we're seeing a lot of applications come in. And so, board, you'll see tonight again, too, on the contract list, kind of reflection of wrapping up the hiring season as we're getting ready to finish out the school year. So, thank you.
Anybody else? I appreciate the board. We had a national conference at Atlanta that most people attended, and so it went well. I thought all the sessions were excellent. You guys did an excellent job on presenting. You had your own session on school safety, and so very proud of them. It was great. It was a lot of pride in that room that morning, on that Sunday morning, so I appreciate them.
We followed Eric King's lead, as long as we follow his lead.
Appreciate you, Mr. King. If nothing else, I am going to announce that choir April 11th at Reynolds Auditorium, UCA, they've got their I think it's their big state coming up. So it looks like I think it's 3 sessions if I read the email right. So that'll be all day over at Reynolds, but that'll be a neat thing.
Awesome.
So.
I'll just say again, the California students, thank y'all for being here. We hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of boring tonight, but thank y'all for being here, and y'all have a safe trip home. Safe trip
Yes,
home.
yeah, y'all
Thank
be
you
careful.
so much.
The
Thank
board are
you.
going to executive session now. Thank you. All right, guys, we're back from executive session. Does anybody have any question about the personnel approval? If not, I'll need a motion and a second to approve personnel.
I'll make a motion to approve personnel recommendations as presented.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to approve the personnel approval. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Passes. There's no more business for the night. I need a motion to adjourn. All right. I appreciate you guys. In a second. Hey, thank you, board. Thanks, Dr. Collum. And thanks for the staff. Excellent job tonight.